Yo, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I bring you guys week 1 of the NPA, the New York Metapods take on the Anaheim Aipoms and Coach Kyleaye. And if you guys are super duper hyped for this video and the first week of the NPA, your New York Metapods, show your love on that like button down below, as it really helps out, guys. If you missed the team builder, go check that out, description or annotation. Go see the team builder so you know exactly what team we're bringing, why we're bringing the things we're bringing, and it'll really help you kind of wrap your head around the match and kind of understand what my strategy is going into it. We do have a question today as well. Who do you think is going to be the MVP of the Metapods this season? We've got some huge threats like Scolipede and Entei, Mega Sableye, and even Thundurus, Cresselia as well. Who do you think will be the MVP or the star of the team this season? Make your predictions below. And last but not least, New York Metapods t-shirts are available. They don't look like this. This is a Mets jersey, but the Metapods t-shirts are available, and you guys can grab those in the description below as well. They'll only be available for 2 weeks, I believe, so definitely check those out and support the New York Metapods, your brand new team here for your homie Coach aDrive, and I'm having a good time. So let's jump into this match here against Kyle. I apologize if you hear some background noise. There's all sorts of noise going on around my apartment, so not in the apartment, but other places nearby. So if you hear background noise, you hear puppies barking, I'm sorry. But let me connect with Kyle here, and we're gonna get this match going and hopefully pick up our first W of the season. All right, I'll see you guys momentarily. All right, guys, we are connected here with Kyleaye, and we are about to pick our team and find out what team he is going to be bringing for week 1 of the NPA. Again, he's got a very powerful team featuring big threats like Victini and Excadrill and Feraligatr, not to mention things like Zoroark and Dragalge, which can be huge problems for my team. So this is by no means an easy matchup for me, and I'm definitely taking this match as seriously as I would any other match. So I do feel like we have a good team here, though, and I do think we have a good chance to win. So he's going to mix some things up here. He's going to bring the Kecleon. He does not bring the Zoroark, which is a huge relief to me. He brings Kecleon, which I'm very surprised to see, but perhaps he just wanted some priority there. I am pretty familiar with Kecleon, so I'm not exactly too worried about that. Let me just update the layout here. Let's get Kecleon on the screen. I was not expecting the Kecleon, but that's likely to be a stealth rocker unless he's running like an offensive set. He brings the Jolteon, so I'm very glad that I prepared for the Jolteon with my Amoonguss, so we have a direct counter to that, and I feel pretty good about the Jolteon here. Let me just make some notes on my end. On the other side here, we got Jolteon, and we've got Kecleon, so very surprised to see the Kecleon. Like I said, I'm very surprised to see the Kecleon. So leads on his end, he could bring a number of things. I think for me, it's just very important to get those stealth rocks up right away, but I also don't want him to get up his own stealth rocks. So I'm kind of leaning towards leading with my Sableye here, and then I could just make a hard switch if I need to. So that is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to be leading with my Sableye. He does not have a cleric or anything like that, and I could definitely take on the Sableye with my Mirror. So I'm going to lead with my Sableye and potentially Mega Evolve right away. If he leads with something else, I could just switch. If he leads with Jolteon, I'll make the swap into Amoonguss. If he leads with Victini, I'll make the swap into Druddigon and see what kind of Victini he is, things like that. So I'm trying to figure out the mold of his team here. It looks like he could bring like that AV Tangrowth potentially. That Kecleon is a bit confusing though. I am a little bit surprised to see that, but perhaps he just wanted to get that priority. Maybe he has knockoff on it. He thought that he could maybe knock some items off or maybe be able to kind of play around that, but I don't foresee the Kecleon being a huge issue to my team. It could set up Stealth Rocks though, so we do have to keep that in mind. Could be Trick Room as well, but his team doesn't really fit that mold, so unless he's running Trick Room Victini, which isn't that insane. But anyway, I'm gonna leave with Sableye. Trust the old Sableye here. No sense in trying to get too creative here. I don't want him to get rocks up, and I know I can handle a lot of his team. So he's gonna bring out Ex-Boyfriend, which is his Excadrill, and that's fine with me, man. I could simply click Will-O-Wisp here, and I am fine. Now the thing is he might try to set up his own Stealth Rocks here. He might also just go into Victini. But really, Excadrill cannot do much to me. He can't do anything to me, in all honesty. Like an offensive drill just doesn't do anything. I think my safest play here is just to Mega Evolve and go for the Will-O-Wisp. I know that's a bit predictable though. I kind of want a Dark Pulse and like Mega Evolve and Dark Pulse instead, because realistically, like an offensive drill isn't going to be able to do too much to me. I'm kind of leaning towards just going for the Dark Pulse here. This is a tough decision. It's either I go for the Dark Pulse to catch the Victini potentially switching in, or just go for the Will-O-Wisp, which is going to hit everything but the Victini. So a couple different options there. I think the Willow is the safer play here, potentially burning this thing right off the bat, and I'm just going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, but I could burn this thing right off the bat. He's not going to be able to set up hazards against me, and I can potentially cripple his Excadrill right away without having to worry about anything. So it looks like he does stay in. I do connect the Will-O-Wisp, but I'm going to burn the Excadrill on the first turn, and that works for me. What is he going to go for, though? Oh, he's got a Lumberry, so he's gonna flex his Lumberry and go for the Stealth Rocks, but they get bounced back. I don't know why he did that. That makes my life a bajillion times easier. I could choose to Will-O-Wisp, or I could just Dark Pulse, predicting the switch here. I'm thinking, based on the fact that he did not go for, oh man, based on the fact that he had the Lumberry, that kind of leads me to believe he could be potentially offensive. The Will-O-Wisp is the safest play, but I don't want that Victini to come in for free. But the Will-O-Wisp is just the safest play by a long shot. It's just the Dark Pulse is very appealing. I'm going to make the safe play and go for Will-O-Wisp. If he switches into Victini, that is totally fine with me. But I got Stealth Rocks up on the field with Sableye without having to do anything. So I don't know if he didn't realize he thought I was going to switch out. I don't know what he was planning on doing there. But we got rid of his Lumberry right off the bat. And I'm drinking my water out of a straw, which is very strange. But I decided to switch things up. If he goes to Victini, good play on his part. He's going to go out into aDrive, which is most likely the Victini, so he does. But the good news for me is he actually is going to take Stealth Rocks damage here. Wait, why didn't he take Stealth Rocks damage? He went for Stealth Rocks, and I thought I bounced it back. Oh, does Prankster not work on the... No, Magic Bounce should have bounced it back. I'm very confused here. I don't know what I just missed. I don't know what I missed, but maybe I forgot something. Anyway, I'm going out on a Pumpkin here. Maybe he did get the Stealth Rocks up on my side, but I Mega Evolved. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know why he didn't take Stealth Rocks damage. I thought he went for Stealth Rocks in the first turn. I don't know. I'm very confused right now. Very, very confused, but it's okay. I'll go on a Pumpkin here, predicting this Victini to be offensive, and we'll see what happens here. I take Stealth Rocks damage. I'm very confused. Maybe Magic Bounce didn't work on the first turn. I don't know. He's going to predict my switch and go for the Dazzling Gleam here, so he is going to hit my Druddigon and hit it very, very hard here. Now, I kind of have to just play smart and go for the Sucker Punch, I think, or I need to switch out here. He gets... Why did that not work? I thought Magic Bounce would activate. I'm really confused. Maybe... Oh, Mold Breaker on the Excadrill. Oh, dude. I'm an idiot. I am such an idiot. Why am I such an idiot? Okay, so we saw the Dazzling Gleam. I need to just get focused in this match again. I just made a huge blunder there. That was huge. That was huge. Okay, that's okay. Let me look at this calc here for the Dazzling Gleam. He predicted me 1,000,000% there. I'm at 52 out of 182 after Stealth Rocks, though. So that puts me down to 28%. So he did about 60% to me. I'm just trying to see if this thing was potentially E-Belt or not. Looks like it was kind of an E-Belt set. Definitely specially offensive. No doubt that he was specially offensive. My Sucker Punch doesn't really do a lot to him, so I definitely need to switch here. Knowing he's specially offensive, though, I think I can go into Vesuvius, or I could potentially go into something else here. Maybe Fungi. I don't know if he's going to be... Yeah, let me go into Amoonguss here. Predicting him to just Dazzling Gleam again. He might be Scarfed or something like that. And I know if he Blue Flares here, it's going to do a lot, but I know I can live it. So let's go into Amoonguss here and see what he's going to do. I forgot about Mold Breaker Drill, guys. I don't know what to tell you. He goes for the Dazzling Gleam again. So I'm leaning towards the fact that this thing is potentially locked into Dazzling Gleam. It might not be, but I'm going to make... He gets a crit. It's irrelevant. I need to get back into this game here. So he's got Dazzling Gleam. I totally forgot about Mold Breaker, guys. I feel like such an idiot. Okay, I'm going to make a switch into Vesuvius now and just try to put some pressure on his team. His switch into Amoonguss is most likely to be Excadrill. I think I could just go for Sacred Fire against that thing. So I'm going to make the switch into my Entei here, and I think he's going to switch out or go for the Blue Flare. I'll find out if he's Scarfed or not in a second. That's very, very bad. Very, very bad. Okay, so we're not in a terrible spot here. If I get Entei in, I get to just fire off some Sacred Fires. He doesn't really have a good switch in for it. So, you know what? It's okay. Oh my goodness. I need to get those rocks up with Druddigon ASAP somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do that, though. I'll outspeed the Tangrowth. But I just forgot about Mold Breaker, guys. I really did. I don't know what I was thinking. That was so stupid. Lumberry Mold Breaker Drill. Great set, dude. Great set, and it puts me in a bad spot right now. And now Druddigon is a lot less useful than it otherwise would be. Just from the fact that he's specially offensive Victini, or it seems that he is. He's definitely invested. He's definitely like very invested into his special side here. So I know Entei's going to take rocks damage, but I know Entei can also outspeed everything on his team, aside from probably the Jolteon, the Victini, and I have a good switch into Jolteon. He's not going to go into a Jolteon now. I'm I'm thinking this thing is probably going to be Scarfed. I don't think it was Specs damage. I think it's Scarfed. Potentially Scarftini. He is going to switch here, hopefully into something like Kecleon or Drill. He's going to go into Watermelon, which is the Tangrowth. So that's great switching for me. That gives me a free switch into my Entei here. And Entei cares not about you, Tangrowth. Entei is going to click Sacred Fire, and it is going to do a ton of damage to him. And he could potentially Earthquake me or something. He might predict something funky here. But my play is just to go for Sacred Fire, because even Victini coming in on Sacred Fire is not going to like it. It is not going to like the Sacred Fire. It's going to do like 40% to him, and it's going to be in good shape. So I'm just going to go for Sacred Fire here. If he goes into Victini, that's fine, but that's one of his better Pokemon, you know? And I could probably take a hit from Victini. I really needed those rocks up, man. And rocks hurt me so much this match, too. But this is what I wanted. I want to put pressure on with Entei here. He doesn't really have a lot of good switch-ins. He can't go into, like, Jolteon dies, Kecleon dies, Tangrowth dies, Excadrill dies. His only switch in here is Victini or Gator, and Gator risks getting burned. And I outspeed Gator. So, unless he's Scarfed, which would be weird. I don't know what he's going to do here. He's got a tough decision to make. Very tough decision to make, but I'm thinking that Victini is Scarfed at this point in time, because then he would put him over my, that would make him outspeed my Thundurus if I brought it, so I'll have to play around that thing being Scarfed potentially. So it might be Dazzling Gleam, U-Turn, Blue Flare, or something like that, so, but Sacred Fire here is going to do a lot to something, and his really only switch-in is that Victini, if he wants to, like, but you don't want to risk your big win con at the beginning, you don't. If he does bring in Victini, I'm going to sack off Druddigon, I think. I think I have to. He's gonna stay in. Unless he's like physically defensive, there's no chance he's living this. He lives it. No burn, and he's gonna knock off my item, which is a little bit bittersweet. He lived that on so little, dude. And he's leftovers, so he's physically defensive. Oh my god, that was ridiculous. Okay. I can click E-Speed, or I could Sacred Fire again. Sacred Fire obviously can miss, but I don't think he's gonna switch out. I could risk the Stone Edge here as well, which could be an interesting play. But I think my play is to Sacred Fire here, just because it's going to do the most damage to everything on his team. And Victini could come in at that point, but if I miss with this Stone Edge, then I'm in a lot of trouble. I don't think he would save this thing. I really don't. I don't want to over-predict here. I'm going to go for the Sacred Fire. I could predict the Victini switch in and the saving of the Tangrowth, but he barely lived that hit. Oh my goodness, he probably lived on one. He probably lived on one. So now without my Choice Band, I am a lot less effective than I otherwise would be, in all honesty, without my Choice Band. But that does allow me to fire off extreme speeds with the other stuff, so I guess I have that going for me. But I'm just going to try to knock this thing out, or knock something else out switching in. And Entei does put a lot of pressure on his team, but now I'm in like Aqua Jet range and all sorts of stuff. That Tangrowth living on like 1 HP, dude. Oh man. And Scolipede actually gets outsped too, so I can't bring Scolipede in on Victini if he's Scarfed now. He is going to switch out here, so I did not predict the switch. I went straight for Sacred Fire. He goes into blue, which is his Gator. If I burn this thing, that would be huge. I did not get the burn on the Tangrowth, which was a big deal. So here's the 50% chance. Please, please, please. It's 50%. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That 50% burn is huge for me right there. That is huge, huge, huge. Okay. So now that he's burned, I can go into a lot of things. I can go into Mirror, and I can start setting up Calm Minds in this thing. And actually, if I do that, I could win. I could just straight up win if I start setting up Calm Minds in this thing. That's what my play is. I'm going into Mirror, or I go into Pumpkin and try to set up Stealth Rocks, because he's burned. Pumpkin might not be a terrible idea. I'm taking Rocks damage, though. You know what I'm going to do? I think if I go to... Hold on, if I go to Pumpkin here, and I get up my Rocks, that would be huge for the Victini. Doesn't really hurt much else, but it does bring the Tangrowth down a little bit. I feel like if I just go to Mirror and start setting up Calm Minds, I could just win. I know it's a little early for that, but I don't really think he has a switch in. And Victini, what does Victini do to Sableye if he's specially offensive with Dazzling Gleam? Because I know he's gonna do 51% to me, like 68% max. If I'm +1 though, he cannot 2-hit KO me. If I am +2, he can definitely not 2-hit KO me, and I OHKO him. A little bit early to be setting up a Sableye, I think, but I think I can make it work. I really do. Or I just go into Alomomola, play it safe, and then Wish Pass back into something else. That would be my other option. Let's let's go with the safer option here. I think I'll have a chance to set up later as well. So let me go into my Alamolo, which can definitely sponge any hits from this Feraligatr, and I can set up a Wish and pass it over to something else. That is kind of my plan here. He's gonna go for the Dragon Dance. So he is the Dragon Dance variant of you know, Feraligatr. So this could allow me to Wish into my Druddigon. He's burned, so I'm less concerned about this thing than I otherwise would be. I definitely actually want to go for the knockoff here first before I go set up my Wish, because if I get rid of his Life Orb, that's just going to really reduce the amount of damage he's doing to me, and I can kind of stall him out with burn damage. Plus, if he switches here, I get a free knockoff on something. I'll get rid of leftovers on a Pokemon or something like that. So, but my play here is to knock off. I'll hopefully get rid of the item on this Feraligatr. And if I can do that, or an item on Victini, maybe trying to switch in, be cheeky, maybe even the Tangrowth coming in. Amoonguss can definitely come in on Tangrowth all day, and if he just knocks off, it's not a big deal. And Sableye can set up on the Tangrowth too, I think. Because Tangrowth probably can't do much to me, and I could burn it. So this is going to be a very interesting match. I definitely did not play the way I wanted to coming out of the gate. He's going to switch out here, so I'm going to get a free knockoff on something. Potentially the Tangrowth is what I'm actually expecting. Here comes Tangrowth. It is going to get a knockoff, so he's not going to have that recovery that he normally would have, which is very, very nice. My switch here is into Amoonguss, unfortunately, which is going to result in me losing my Assault Vest. But at this point in the match, I don't think I need it against the Jolteon. I think I can take a hit here, and it's not going to be a big deal. Or I could predict the knockoff and actually go into Druddigon, which is, I think, what my play is going to be. I'm going to go into Druddigon here. I think that Druddigon can live a hit, and if he goes for the knockoff, I'll get Rough Skin, Rocky Helmet, and I can set up those Stealth Rocks for that Victini, which is going to be so important. I think I should be able to live a hit from the Tangrowth. I think I can, so I sound like Thomas the Tank Engine here. So I'm going into Pumpkin here. I might just end up losing Druddigon here, but this could give me a free switch into something else like Entei again, which can fire off a you know, a big hit. So we'll see if I can live this. He's gonna go for the Leech Seed, which I should be able to take, and I could fire off, get my Stealth Rocks up here, because I'm probably gonna outspeed him without a problem. I should be able to live this. We do on 8, so that's really good. So we see Leech Seed on this thing. And I think my play here is 1,000,000% to get at my Stealth Rocks to that Victini. It's going to help out a lot. It really is. So I'm going to get those Stealth Rocks up. And that could force him to Rapid Spin with Drill later, but if that's what I get to do with this thing, then that's fine. Because this will open the door for me to go into, you know, either Sableye to set up, or a couple other things. In fact, if I go to Sableye here, I click Calm Mind, I can just fire off a Dark Pulse and kill the Victini on the switch in, I believe. +1 Sableye. Looks like it's a roll on the Victini, so a couple things there. But once Sableye comes in, it can definitely put in some work. But I want to get those Stealth Rocks up, especially since he has them up, and I need to be careful. I am going to get my rocks up, so that's really good. He's going to knock me out here, but I don't care. I hope he goes for the knockoff, predicting the switch. He does go for the knockoff. Beautiful. I'm gonna get Rough Skin, Rocky Helmet on him. I'm gonna go down, but you're not down in vain, Druddigon. You're gonna do a lot of damage to this thing. So Tangrowth kills Druddigon with with knockoff, and he takes a lot of damage from that. So now I have a couple different options here. I am sure Sableye can wall this thing all freaking day. I am sure it can, but it's a matter of whether I really feel like I could just bring Sableye here and set up. I don't think he can beat it. If I get 2 Calm Minds up, I think I win. In all honesty, I really do. It's just a matter of whether he's going to be aggressive and go straight into his Victini and my Sableye. That's really what it comes down to. Does he stay aggressive and go straight into Victini on my Sableye? If he doesn't, then I win, basically. In fact, I'm actually looking like Crimson can pretty much win this too. All right, I'm doing that. I'm making the play here. I'm going to start setting up these Calm Minds, and I think I could do this because he can't Leech Seed me. And he can't spin on me, he can't do any of that stuff. So my play here is to Calm Mind, which will allow me to live hits from that Victini if it switches in here. If I Calm Mind and then I Dark Pulse, it should be enough to knock him out. If he does not go straight into Victini here, we are in really good shape. If he does not go straight into Victini here, we are in really good shape, because this thing, Tangrowth can't touch me, Jolteon isn't going to beat me after Calm Minds, Excadrill can't beat me after Calm Minds, because I can burn the Excadrill. The Gator's already burned. So I'm going for the Calm Mind here. We're going for it. And that Gator's burned now, so he loses the priority on the Gator. He's probably gonna save his Tangrowth here. This thing is still alive. It has Regenerator, so it could heal itself back up. He's actually gonna go for the Leaf Storm here, which is actually not a bad situation for me because I can definitely live it, and I'll get the Calm Mind up, which will allow me to go for the Recover on the next turn. And assuming he does not critically hit me here, I should be able to recover up a lot of my health here and have no issues against this thing. I am worried about the Victini coming in, but now I'm at least +1, and I can go for the Recover here. My play is 100% Recover. If he Leaf Storms and kills me here, I will be devastated, because that would be huge. But I know he's got one more move left, so he's going to Leaf Storm again. As long as this isn't a crit, we should be able to live. We do live it without a problem, and he's just getting weaker and weaker. This is getting to be a really good situation for me. So Leaf Storm comes through, that's fine. I get to heal back up. I'm going to recover up here now. I think my play is to Calm Mind again. He needs like a super crit here. He's gonna go for the Synthesis. That's totally fine, man. You were just letting me set up all day on you with this Sableye, and if you let me keep going, man, if I get 3 Calm Minds up, this is over. Unless there's like a super crit. Calm Mind comes through. I think my play here is to Recover or Dark Pulse or Calm Mind again. If I go +3, I think we're in good shape here. Can I OHKO him at this point or no? If I'm +2, because now I'm +2 against Tanger. Now I definitely OHKO the Victini coming in, and he's defensive Tangrowth. So Dark Pulse actually could kill here. I think my play is actually to Recover, just to make sure I'm back at full for the Victini switch in, which is very, very likely. Special Victini with Dazzling Gleam at this point in time now does less than 35%. So I'm gonna go for the Recover here. He is gonna switch out, so I will get to full now. He goes into the Victini, which takes Stealth Rocks, and now I can OHKO him with Dark Pulse. I'm gonna take about 35% here if he's E-Belt. If he specs, then he's gonna do about less than half to me. He should do less than half to me. So I'm gonna go for the Dark Pulse here. This does 92 to 109, so this should knock him out. I should be able to take a Dazzling Gleam here, no problem. I'll find out if he specs or not. I do think he's Scarfed, but he's gonna actually just go for the V-Create here. So he's gonna do a tremendous amount of damage to me. He's a mixed Teeny with V-Create, but this should not kill me by any means. It's gonna do less than half actually. And now I'm definitely gonna knock him out with a big Dark Pulse here. So Sableye kills Victini with Dark Pulse, and that's one big threat out of the way. One huge threat out of the way, because now that makes my homie Scolipede way better. So Victini's gone. Tangrowth is incredibly weakened at this point. I'm +2. Gator can't come in. Jolteon can't beat me. The only thing he could bring in here is Excadrill, and if he's not fully offensive drill, then I should be able to take hits from that thing all day, and I can recover up. And actually, I might just be able to knock him out too. Because if he's like let's say he's like a bulky drill, just out of curiosity, his Earthquake does like 35%. If he's like offensive drill, he'll obviously do a lot more to me. So it's gonna depend on his Excadrill set, but he can't go into Gator, he can't go into Tangrowth, I wall it, he can't go into Kecleon, because I don't think Kecleon can touch me. He's gonna go into Usain Jolt, so he's actually going into his Jolteon. This is just for me to recover on. I don't really think it can do much to me. I'm +2. Let me just run a quick calc here on like an offensive Jolteon. If I'm +2, yeah, he can do max 30% to me if he's Life Orb offensive. I'm gonna just recover up on him. And if I get one more Calm Mind, like, we're in good shape here. I can't OHKO him with Dark Pulse at this point, but I can just just recover up on him. I don't know if he can beat Sableye. He's gonna need a crit, I think, to beat it at this point in time. And I just got rid of Victini, which was a huge, huge threat to my team. In fact, now that really opens the door for Scolipede. Scolipede actually might just be able to win at this point too, if Sableye doesn't. I still have my Regenerator core intact. This is gonna be intense, man. Calm Mind Sableye is very, very good, but because of its low HP stat, it can be a little bit difficult at times, but once you get those Calm Minds up, man, this thing is very, very scary for opposing teams. He's gonna go for the Thunderbolt here. We're gonna see how much this does. He gets the crit. So there goes that idea. I'm gonna go into Amoonguss. Amoonguss actually has a really good matchup against this team still, so it's not too big of a deal. I think my play here is to just go for the Sludge Bomb or the Giga Drain. Giga Drain is good. If he goes into Excadrill, then it's definitely better for me to go for the Sludge Bomb. Or it's better for me to go to for Foul Play, really. But he can't do much to me. So I think my play here is actually just to Sludge Bomb or Foul Play. I mean, either way. I don't want to lose my item on this thing, though, which kind of... Dude, I can't believe that crit just happened. That was really annoying. I'm going to go for the Giga Drain, I think. Nah, Sludge Bomb. Does he go into Excadrill here? Does he go to Excadrill? I'd rather get some damage than no damage is really what it comes down to. I'm gonna go for Foul Play, predicting the Excadrill. He can't touch me. He's gonna go for Volt Switch, so I know he's not Specs at least. So whatever, you know. So Volt Switch, T-Bolt. That's why crits are in the game, ladies and gentlemen. That's why they're in the game. And he can spin away my rocks now too. But I'm gonna go to Alamola now, and I'm gonna be able to set up a Wish and potentially Wish up and you know, help out the team here. But if I just weaken this Excadrill a little bit here with a Foul Play, I need to weaken the Kyleaye a little bit too. Jolteon's going down to an EQ. Tangrowth is at, you know, questionable health whether I can knock him out, but I don't think Tangrowth can touch me. Leech Seed knock off Leaf Storm, that's not really gonna do too much, and Gator is essentially useless. He could actually fodder off Gator here. He's gonna go to no type, which is his Kyleaye, so I'm gonna be able to get off a whatchamacallit, Foul Play here against this Kyleaye, and this should actually allow me to know whether he's offensive or not. That does a lot. That's a 2 KO. I can actually just stay in here if I wanted to, but I think my play here against Kyleaye is definitely to go into Alamola. He could have Recover, but if I went for Foul Play on him, he's definitely offensive, 100% offensive. He can go for a knockoff here. Let me see here. Like the standard offensive Kyleaye. Let me see what he does if he has like Thunder Punch. Yeah, he could do a lot to Alamola with Thunder Punch, to be perfectly honest. But I do think my play is to go into Alamola here. Alamola is my physical wall, and I don't want to lose my Assault Vest. The Assault Vest helps a little bit of it against the Jolteon. I think I can actually stay in here and just fire off a Foul Play, to be perfectly honest, because I can get the Regenerator back, and realistically, what is he going to do to me? Like, he can do max to me like 50% with a knockoff, but I'll just get Regenerator back. So I'm going to go for the Foul Play here. It should knock him out. He's going to go for the Fake Out, so that kind of puts a little hamper in my plan here if he does go for knockoff, but I should be able to live that and the knockoff, so I know I have the Regenerator and stuff, so I'm just going to go for the Foul Play again. I know he's got Fake Out, though, and I'm sure knockoff is coming here, if I had to guess. I'm sure the knockoff is coming. I'm just glad that Gator is burned. It's pretty much crippled. So because of that, you know, Entei can E-speed some stuff. We're definitely getting closer to where Entei can really put in some work here. He's going to switch out, so he's going to take this Foul Play with whatever comes in. Could be the Tangrowth. He is going to go into the Watermelon here. So that is the Tangrowth. It's actually at full now. He could potentially try to whatchamacallit to me. He could potentially knock off my item now, my Assault Vest, but I get to go for a Sludge Bomb now. I'll get to get my Foul Play off. Doesn't really do much to him, but I could go for Sludge Bombs here. There's really no reason for me to over-predict. He could just simply go for the knockoff, get rid of my Assault Vest, which is exactly what he's going to do here. Not too worried about that. It does a lot, but I know I can get off this Sludge Bomb here, and I know he's not specially defensive, so this is going to do a tremendous amount to him. It just straight up knocks him out, so I'll take that, man. Amoonguss kills Tangrowth with Sludge Bomb. So that's really good. I got rid of the Tangrowth, so that's one other threat out of the way. I lose my item, but I do have a, you know, my Amoonguss is a really good response to his Jolteon still, so it's worth saving at this point. It's actually a great response to his Jolteon. So if Kyleaye comes in, I go to Alamola. Then Alamola is free to knock off potentially an item on the Drill. It could potentially knock off on the Gator. It could do a lot of different things. Or I could just set up a Wish and pass it back to the Entei, which is going to be taking damage when it comes in. So a couple different options there. All the while, this Jolteon is getting worn down by Stealth Rocks. So this has been a good match, man. I had the Sableye sweep lined up, man, and that's Pokemon though for you. That's Pokemon for you. So here comes Usain Jolt, which is his Jolteon. Great play on his part actually to go into Jolteon instead of something else here, because he's gonna force me to switch out now. But I don't really have a switch, so my play actually here is to Giga Drain and hope he doesn't kill me with like Signal Beam. If he does, he does, but I can't afford to switch here. I really can't. I just can't do it. Because I kind of want to keep Alamomola still for the Excadrill. I guess I could sack off Entei here now that Tangrowth is gone, but I feel like Entei just puts so much pressure on because of the Kecleon stuff, but he's probably going to have priority on Kecleon. I think I sack Entei here, guys. He's got Burned Gator, so less important. Excadrill, which I can beat with Crimson once it's wore down a little bit, and Alamomola beats Excadrill. And then he's got Kecleon, which has been weakened and showed that it's got priority, which is the problem here. Let me just calc this, really, is what I gotta do, whether he can beat me or not. So I don't have my Assault Vest anymore, but how much does Jolteon do to me? I have, you know, a little bit of time here. Let's see. And he's probably E-Bell Jolteon or Zap Plate. Let me see here. I am sitting at 72 out of 221, and that puts me at 32%. So Moongus versus Jolteon, the most he can do to me is like, if he's Life Orb, which he's not. Let me see if he's Modest, hold on. Modest and Life Orb, I still have 23 seconds. The most he can do to me with like Signal Beam is 25%. If he has like HP Fire, that would be the only thing that he could do to me. That would really mess me up here. I'm gonna go into, no, I'm gonna stay in and just Giga Drain, man. I'm gonna stay in and Giga Drain. I don't think he can knock me out in one hit. He's gonna go for the Heal Bell to heal off his Feraligatr, which is insane that he actually is carrying that. Oh my goodness, I'm very surprised. But this is gonna allow me to get some health back here, which is really, really nice. And I'm glad I still have my my Alamomola because I need that. He doesn't really have anything that wants to take a Giga Drain, so I think my play here is just to Giga Drain again. I don't know if it's gonna kill the Jolteon, but he really can't do much to me. He's gonna go for the Thunderbolt here. I know I can live this. It's not gonna do really anything. In fact, it brings me down to 60. I'm gonna get the Giga Drain off. This might actually bring me back up, back to where I was, basically. It doesn't. I don't get as much back, but I got a good amount back, and I could just go for the Giga Drain again. Once this thing is gone, I don't think he has an answer for Alamomola, to be honest. I think my play is Foul Play here. I don't foresee him living a Foul Play at this point, and in case he wants to save this thing, yeah, Foul Play definitely knocks him out. Let me just double check if he's 0 attack IVs. Foul Play definitely knocks him out at this range, so I'm gonna go for the Foul Play in case he decides to Volt Switch. He's gonna Volt Switch. This could hit the Gator incredibly hard. It actually could potentially knock out the Gator or the Excadrill or the Kecleon. It's gonna knock something out. That was the right play, was to go for Foul Play there. Gator's gonna take a huge hit from it. The Excadrill is gonna take a huge hit from it. The Kecleon actually dies to the Foul Play. And his Jolteon is going to basically go down, I think, to Stealth Rocks. So in comes the Kecleon. I believe this goes down to Foul Play and Stealth Rocks. It should just die, which I believe it will. And it does. So Moongus is going to pick up its second kill. So Moongus kills Kecleon with Foul Play. And Foul Play coming in huge here. So now his play is probably to go into Gator or Gadrill, really. Which Alamomola is a great switch in for both of them, but if he starts setting up with Gator, it becomes problematic. Luckily, I can knock off and start Scalding and hope it's enough. I have the E-Speed on Entei if he doesn't have the Aqua Jet, but it does become problematic. So here comes Ex-Boyfriend, which is the Excadrill. And my play here is definitely to go into, he might just Rapid Spin, but I want to save this thing just in case I need it for the Jolteon later. So I'm going to go into Late Night here. Excadrill probably can't do much to me, and I can simply set up a Wish against this drill. We know it's got Stealth Rocks. We know it had a Lumberry, so it doesn't have an item anymore. And if I fire off Scalds here, nothing can switch into a Scald once Alamomola comes in because he risks the burn on things like Gator and Drill. So I know Drill doesn't have an item. I know it had Stealth Rocks earlier, so that's okay. And I just need to weaken Drill just a little bit more because once Drill's weakened, then Scolipede comes in and Scolipede wins. So, because I can take an Aqua Jet from the Gator as long as it doesn't set up too much. I know it's DD Gator. So that's the only thing I saw from the Gator was Dragon Dance. And E-Speed from Entei can clean it up too. So I think the only way he can, unless something's really funky about this drill, it's like got toxic or something. It's just that Feraligatr, if it gets a lot of Dragon Dances up, it could be problematic. But I'm gonna go into Late Night here, and I'm fully physically defensive, as bulky as you can be on the physical side. He just goes for the Earthquake here. I'm gonna kind of be able to gauge how hard this is gonna hit. It's not Life Orb, so you can see I just laugh at that damage. It really does nothing to me. And now I get to fire off a Scald. And he has no switch-ins at this point to the Scald. And if I get the burn, it's most certainly over. So I'm just gonna click Scald here. If I could burn this drill again, that was crazy that Jolteon put in the work there. Now, he could try to spin the rocks away here. I would not be surprised if he went for Rapid Spin. just because that'll allow the Jolteon to switch back in. I don't think Jolteon can come back in again. It's gonna be close. It'll live very, very slim if it does come back in. But this has been an intense matchup, man, for week 1, definitely. This is why you can't underestimate your opponents, man. Not that I did. I definitely took this prep seriously, and I'm still taking this match very seriously. That crit on Sableye, though. Sableye had the sweep, dude. It was so over. Like, he had nothing for Sableye. I had that one, but that crit, that's the game, man. You know, you can't get too mad about it. You can't let it affect you, and I try to snap myself back into the match to stay focused here, so it didn't affect me because... you can really get down on yourself, especially those first couple turns. But we got to stay focused here. My play was Scald. Gator can't come in. Well, it can, but it doesn't want to. If Gator comes in, I just click Scald. And if I burn, awesome. If not, I knock off, weaken that thing a little bit more. And he's going to need a lot of Dragon Dances to be able to beat Alomomola. So I don't think he's going to be able to heal himself up with the Gator enough. He's just going to go for an Earthquake again, which is fine by me. I'm going to get a Scald off here. And if I get this burn, then this game's like pretty much over, in my opinion. But that Gator's still a threat, so it's still a problem. I don't get the burn, so kind of unfortunate there. He might actually make a prediction here that I'm not going to attack. So I'm a little bit in a tough spot here because if I go for the Scald, like... I'm just a little bit worried about that Jolteon here. Like, my play is to Wish, but if he predicts my Wish and switches here, it could be problematic. I have to Wish, though, just to be safe. He is going to Earthquake again, so that's fine with me. So I'm at 127. He's going to bring me down to 51, so this Wish is very, very important to me. Very, very important for me to be able to kind of come back here. And I definitely have to go for the Protect just to make sure I get all my health back so I can tank this thing a little bit better, because I believe his Earthquake could kill me here, especially if he gets a crit. So we are going to Protect, even though the Protect is super duper obvious. I have to go for it here. If he goes into Jolteon, I'll just have to play around it. It's only got one more switch in with Stealth Rock anyway, so he might predict the Protect, but this is my play. And if he goes into Gator, that's fine. I can knock off its item. If he goes into Jolteon, I can, you know, just switch into Amoonguss, which is at higher health now. So I get my Protect off, so I'll get my Wish back. So this will give me a few more chances here to fire off some Scalds. And he just keeps clicking Earthquake, so that's fine with me. I'll get all my health back here pretty much, and the leftovers, and that's going to put me back at a very, very sizable amount of health. And I can just fire off a Scald here. And again, once this burn happens, if I can get this 30% burn chance, then Excadrill is effectively useless at that point. So he's going to go for the EQ. Brings me down. Here comes the Scald. It's going to bring him, it looks like it's about a 4-hit KO, maybe a 3-hit KO. It's close. No burn still. So, again, I'm probably going to Wish this turn instead of Scald. I'll probably Wish. You might think I'm going to Scald on the next turn, or Scald one more time, but I'm going to Wish this time to be safe. Get this thing back up to full here, because it is so crucial to beat the Feraligatr. And Scolipede is now in really, really good spot. Once Scolipede comes in, I think we can put in some serious work here. I'm not going to switch into Scolipede, though, unless I get a free switch in. So, you know, I just got to be careful for that Dragon Dancing Gator. But I outspeed it on the first Dragon Dance. So, I just have to be careful. He might predict the Wish. He's just going to Earthquake again. So, he's really just clicking Earthquake here. And I know I'm kind of stalling out a little bit. But this is, I got to play safe here. You know, I just got to play safely. And, you know, if he were to, like, crit me here, it'd be pretty devastating. But I actually think I can live the crit at this point based on the damage I'm at. So I think my play here is to Scald, and I'll get the Wish back afterwards. So I'm just going to go for the Scald here. It looks like this could knock him out, this Scald, but it's going to be very close. I'm just trying to catch that Jolteon. I don't want him to get a free switch into Jolteon because that could really mess up my plans here. So he's going to go for the EQ. Doesn't get the crit, so we live on 31. That would have been close if he did crit me there, actually. This is not going to knock him out. And I don't get the burn. Oh my goodness. Alomomola, why can't you just knock this thing out for me? You were so close, buddy. You were so close. Okay, so I got to Wish again. And I know that's so annoying, but I just have to Wish. He's going to go for Earthquake. I'm going to play it safe here. I'm going to Wish, and then I will Scald. And then the Excadrill goes down. I'm pretty confident I can live a crit Earthquake here. He's probably running out of Earthquakes at this point, honestly. He's getting really close. But that was definitely the right play. Now I'm just going to click Scald here, and we do knock him out at this point in time. There's no point in me trying to switch around or do anything. He's been definitely trying to sack off his Excadrill, but I'm trying to get in a spot where I'm in the best spot I can be to take on the Excadrill. And that's going to be putting me pretty good here. So Alomomola kills Excadrill with Scald. Now here's the biggest thing, is this Feraligatr is going to come in here, and this Feraligatr is going to be problematic for a couple reasons. First of all, I just went for 4 Scalds. 3 of them you would have known if they got the burn. No burn. So we're definitely due for a Scald burn here pretty soon. Now, we're definitely due for a Scald burn, hopefully. If he goes, he's going to go into his Jolteon here. It is going to live the Stealth Rocks damage. And my play here is to simply go into Amoonguss and fodder that thing off. 100%. If he wants to go for Volt Switch and go into his Gator, that's fine. That's going to give me an opportunity to do a couple different things. I could switch out on the Gator. I can get my Regenerator back. I can do a lot of different things. I can actually go into Vesuvius here and sack that off too, but my play is simply to just go into Fungi, get Alomola back to full. This Jolteon cannot switch back in due to Stealth Rocks damage at this point in the match, so I know Jolteon is no longer a threat to me. I could simply go into Amoonguss. If he wants to Volt Switch, that's totally fine. It'll just get the Gator in, but then I have a better matchup against the Gator, and I could Giga Drain, keep him from setting up, something else. So he is going to go for the T-Bolt here. That's totally fine. You can see just how little that does. It barely does anything, really. And now my play is to simply just go for the Giga Drain here. And I'm going to keep putting the offensive pressure up. He is just going to go for the T-Bolt. I'm not going to worry about the differential on my Amoonguss here. The play is to kill the Jolteon and then hopefully put in some work. So Amoonguss kills Jolteon with Giga Drain. So Jolteon goes down. Now his last Pokemon is that Feraligatr, which did have the Heal Bell burn off him. So I know he doesn't have the burn anymore. But the thing is he can Dragon Dance right now because he dies to Giga Drain, and he cannot... he can't really beat me at this point, I don't think. So I am just going to go for the Giga Drain here. If he knocks me out, that's totally fine. There's no point in saving this thing at this point. He shows me the Ice Punch, which is fine. And I don't believe under any instances a Feraligatr, Adamant Feraligatr can beat Scolipede at this point. I don't believe that is a thing. Let me just double check. Aqua Jet. He cannot beat me with his Feraligatr at this point. So I'm going to go in Crimson here. Crimson is automatically going to be faster just because it's a DD Gator, so I know he's not Scarfed or anything like that. I definitely outspeed Gator. Let me just double check here, but I have no reason not to expect I'm faster. I am faster. All I have to do is click Poison Jab here, or really anything, and it is going to knock him out. So I'm going to go for the Poison Jab here. If he goes to the Aqua Jet, I should be able to live it. Poison Jab's going to come through from the homie Scolipede, Crimson, and Crimson is going to seal the deal for us. And the New York Metapods are going to pick up their first win. Scolipede kills Gator with Poison Jab. And we're going to pick up the W here, guys. So a little bit of a rocky start for us. Me not realizing Mold Breaker Excadrill. I just kind of had a brain fart there, guys. I apologize. A little bit funky there. He brought Mixed Teeny, which is scary. We were able to kind of play around it. Very, very good battling on his part, but we played safe. We played smart. We were able to preserve our win conditions. And Scolipede, Amoonguss picking up 3 kills, actually, which is pretty nuts. So that definitely did its job. Did a great, great job. Amoonguss did. And I'm very, very proud of the team. So definitely show your love on that like button down below, guys, if you haven't done so yet. Be sure to check out the New York Metapods t-shirts, guys. I'd really appreciate the support. They look awesome. I have some, or I'm getting some. I have one in the mail. By the time the video goes up, I probably have my shirt. I'm really excited for the Metapods franchise, guys. I love the logo. I love the design. I love it. So hopefully you guys do too. And that's going to be it for me, guys. My name is Dan. I'm the coach of your New York Metapods, and I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace.